Well, good evening, brokies. Welcome back to Strong Man, Long Dong, King Kong Personal Truck Stop. In this live stream, I'm going to sit here. You're going to super chat me $10. And if you give me $10, I'm going to cover whatever stock, ETF, or cryptocurrency that you want me to cover. I'll pull up the financials. I'll pull up the company's website if they have one. I hope they do. And I'll give you my 10x, 1000x opinion on this amazing company that you're totally going to go all in. So we're going to hang out. We're going to wait for people to trickle in. But yes, if you want me to cover a stock, you got to give me a $10 super chat. And I'm going to calculate it. If you think you can give me foreign currency and deceive me with your little grifty tactics, if you think you're going to deceive me, guess what? I'm going to catch you. Now, we're going to go till 7:45. That's the plan. Okay, it's 6:47 right now. At 7:45, I am turning this live stream off, and I am going to take a bath, and then I have a phone call. Okay? All right, so I guess while we're waiting for my delicious check to come in, I'm trying to farm money because I'm a grifter. Gil says, what's up, Al? What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? Gil, I feel like if you spread these apart and you make a community post to schedule these videos so you can get people prepared to pay $10 is a better move. Well, it's hard to schedule stuff, Gil. Okay, it really is. Like while I'm working full time, I just cannot have a steady routine. So I have to stream when I can. And then there's some nights that I have my kids, and there's some nights that I have other things to do. So I literally cannot have a schedule. I have to just do this whenever I can. That's just how it is. But eventually next year, there's going to be a very fixed routine. Okay. We're going to have a market open. We're going to have the daily clown report. We're going to have one of these every day. And then we're going to have a market close. Oh, yes. 4 live streams minimum a mother effing day. And y'all are going to love it. You are going to enjoy it. Build up hype and do some marketing. You know what my marketing is? Posting a video and blabbing. Oh, speaking of marketing, did you know that tax season is fast approaching? Tax season is fast approaching. And if you want an absolute giga chad to do your taxes, consider booking a free 30-minute consultation with me. See the pinned comment below. I'll be glad to talk to you for free. I'll give you an upfront quote for your tax preparation. You know what that means? That means if I say your taxes are going to cost you $500, that's all it's going to cost, unless you hide stuff from me. Oh, I forgot about this business I have. Oh, okay, and then I'm charging you more. All right. Oh, well, what's Alan complaining about now? You didn't read all the member comments from your previous stream. Another promise broke. Oh, my God. Do you just sit around and try to nitpick every single freaking thing? You are a chick. You have to be a female. You cannot be a man. There's no way you're a man. You have to have a snatch. There is no other possible explanation. The amount of nagging and complaining that you do blows my freaking mind. All right, don't call it you pay me $10. Let me find your 1000x stock for a small fee. That's just too grifty, bro. That's just too grifty. I don't like that. Maybe I should, though. Maybe I should just embrace the grift, okay? All these other freaking grifters are making an absolute fortune. And they're just the lowest IQ, lowbrow, just total morons. And they're making a fortune. They're making an absolute fortune off YouTube. And little old strong man, I've got to make money through a job and doing people's taxes. This world is not fair, okay? The more degenerate and evil you are, the more money you make on this freaking platform, this disgusting platform. YouTube! Y'all remember, if you're paying in Canadian dollars, the magic number is $14.88. It will convert to at least 10 USD, I promise. Yeah, you gotta check the exchange rates, bro. Unless oil tanks, that is. Commodity tier dollars are funky. The dollar's been selling off, man. That's been pumping international stocks. Absolutely pumping them, okay? I'm pretty happy about it. International's been cooking this year. I get 1 year. I get 1 year, ladies and gentlemen. Gil says, I only made $600 today. I'm broke. Well, you better share some of the wealth, Gil. You better super chat me $300. How about that? What is the maximum super chat you can do? Let me check. Let's see. Maximum super chat amount. YouTube. The maximum individual super chat is $500. While daily and weekly limits for viewers are generally 500 USD per day and 2,000 per week, although limits can vary by currency. $500. Well, at least they limit it, okay? That would be evil if they didn't limit it. Like, I would feel bad. If somebody just kept giving me $500, I would feel pretty bad, okay? I'm being perfectly honest. Unless you're a multimillionaire, then whatever. Give me all the money in the world. But I'm actually shocked that YouTube limits the amount of super chats because, you know, there's some people out there, oh my God, it's a hot chick. It's a hot chick. I'm just going to give her money, bro. They just super chat. And she says, oh, thanks. And then she like wiggles her chest a little bit. And he's like, oh, take more, mommy. Oh, maybe she'll like me. Don't ever do that, people. Don't ever do that. Damien says, haha. Alan gives off major double X. Oh, dude, he's definitely a chick, okay? Even if he has the operating system, even if he has the you-know-what between his legs, in his soul, he is a chick. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a woman nag and complain as much as he does. It boggles my mind how much this man freaking complains, okay? God, you probably drive a woman away for your complaining. Usually it's the woman that's freaking nagging. You're the one that's going to drive women away. Alan says, I represent the best interests of my... Oh, I'm sure you do, you nagger. I wonder how many Lebanese pound one would have to send. I don't know. What's the conversion rate? How about you use your stock analysis Excel that you invented, not Paul, to double grift? I could use that. Actually, let's see how many Lebanese pounds it would take to convert. He's saying 895,000. So what is 50 USD in Lebanese currency? 50 USD is 4.477 million Lebanese pounds. You imagine you're like doing a live stream and then oh my God. Somebody just gave me $4 million. And it's Lebanese pounds. That would be very heartbreaking and upsetting to me. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much in the news today. I mean, I could check. Let's see. Let me go check the news. What was on the news today? Did stocks go up? Let's see. What the hell's wrong with this? I had to change the batteries in my keyboard. I was literally, thank God the keyboard died right before I went live on the first live stream. But my keyboard literally died like right before I went live. So I had to get new freaking batteries. Well, VT went up 0.31% today. Year to date, VT's up 17.54%. Good God. How much is international up? Let's see. 17% returns in a year. International is up 24.87% this year. And poor little U.S. stocks, how much are they up? Oh, that's cute. 13.45%. That is absolutely adorable. All right, Alan says, if you want to grow your channel, take my advice. I've been giving it to you for free. No, you need to be paying me to give me advice. You're intolerable. The emperor wants us to be the 51st state. That's on the news. Oh, is he once again trying to annex Canada? Is that a thing that we're still doing? Maybe that's why they called the generals to, meet at Quantico. I've been on Quantico. It's about 8 miles from my parents' house. It's a little Marine base. I think the officers go and train there, and they have like a PX, and they have a gym. I've been to the gym on Quantico, but it is an ugly, ugly base. Quantico, like, I could never live on a military base. I could never, ever, ever live on a freaking military base. It's the most depressing thing in the world. All the buildings are ugly. Everything's old. You're surrounded by the freaking military. When you're in the Army or the Marines, people want breaks from that, okay? They want to take freaking breaks. People don't want to be exposed to the military 24/7 because it's like totalitarian, right? You're going to be in the military attitude. When I was in the Army, guess what? I lived off base. Yeah, I know. As soon as the workday was over, I was hauling, you know what, off that freaking base. I couldn't stand another second being on that freaking base. It's so nice being away from the base. And the funny thing is, if you're an officer and you live on the base, because they actually have quarters for you, you don't get a housing allowance, number one. You don't get the tax-free housing allowance. And then they put you in charge of a block, right? So you're in charge of the block, and you have to literally make sure that everybody cuts their freaking grass, okay? So you get off duty, you're trying to chill out over the weekend, and then you're like the block leader. So you gotta go knock at somebody's door. Excuse me, Sergeant Johnson. Sergeant Johnson, you need to cut your grass. I don't want to deal with that. No, okay? I lived off base, don't regret it at all. And I got a tax-free housing allowance, and you can pocket some of it too. SCHD is up 0.15% year to date. That's not good. To which I say, please do it already. No. Alan Carlson said, 1 year's performance is pointless. It's all about long-term performance. Strongman used to say that. It is about long-term performance. What did all the clowns say?
It's impossible that international can outperform. It's impossible, bro.
Yeah. Okay. What if it keeps doing it? You know, if it keeps doing it, you know what you clowns are going to do? Do you know what you clowns are going to do? You're going to start buying international if it keeps going up a lot. I know you. I can read you like a book. Okay. I am a genius of human nature. I understand how your little mouse brains operate. Okay. Stock go up, you buy it. That's how your brains work. You look at the 10-year chart. That is your investment philosophy. You're a freaking clown. Good God. Sparky says, Strongman wants to roam free like an eagle. He can't live on the base. That's right. I don't do well in like hierarchies. I don't like being in a bureaucracy. I've learned that in my life. I like being by myself, doing my own thing. And I can be way more productive by myself. Okay. When I'm doing taxes, it's like, get a return, do the return, get a return, do the return. I don't have to sit around and wait to be told what to do. I do everything myself, and I love it. Pure autonomy. If I don't want to do taxes one day, I don't do it. If I want to work on it for 15 hours, I'll work on it for 15 hours. It's freaking awesome. Okay, well, we got our first $10 super chat of the day. And that ends the live stream. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Rolando Rivera Jr. First super chat of the day. Thank you, good sir. AMTM. What is this? What in oblivion is this? Stockanalysis.com. AT. Well, let me check this. AMTM. AMTM. Amentum Holdings. It's got mint, bro. It must be fresh. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. Let me drop this so it doesn't block the screen. All right, let's go check out Amentum, my Schmintium, Pentium. Amentum Holdings Incorporated, ticker symbol AMTM. $23 stock. Oh, wow, it's not a penny stock. I'm in shock. Are we sharing? Yeah, we're sharing. Okay. Got a market cap of $5.83 billion, so it's not a small company. Never heard of this in my life. Off of trailing revenue of $12.68 billion. Wow, that's trading at a very low multiple of revenue. Trailing net income of $52 million. They make money. Shocker. Got a trailing PE of 94, but a forward PE of 10. Now, just because it has a high trailing PE doesn't mean anything necessarily. It could have been an accounting charge, like a one-off that massively decreased earnings in the past. It's obviously about the future. So don't get scared off necessarily by a high PE. The forward PE is pretty freaking low. Okay. Let's see. So it's up 5% today, 6% in 5 days, down 4% on the month. Year to date up 13.88. So it's matched the market basically. 1 year, it's down 6.7%. And over the past 5 years, when was this listed? Oh, this just got listed September 24, 2024. So ever since the stock went public, it's been down 25%. So what does Amentum do? Amentum provides engineering and technology solutions to the U.S. and allied government agencies. Oh, so it's at the whim of the government. Wonderful. Oh, we got all these contracts. Then they expire. Then they're cooked. It offers supporting programs of critical national important access, critical national importance across energy and environmental intelligence space, offers a range of capabilities, including environmental and climate sustainability. I don't think that sounds good under the Trump administration. Let me guess. Did this thing sell off when Trump got elected? Yeah, it did. Wasn't it November 4 when we found out? This company freaking collapsed, okay? So they probably lost a huge part of their business if they're doing environmental and climate sustainability. Intelligence and counter threat solutions. Okay, that's more reasonable. Data fusion and analytics, engineering integration, advanced tests, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's go look at the website. 53,000 employees. Let's go see what they do. Advancing the nuclear resurgence. Amentum nuclear. When do they start doing nuclear? When did this happen? Okay, so here they're talking about environmental and climate. Well, I guess maybe that's nuclear. I guess that's adjacent. But you could tell that the investors were not happy when Trump got elected. So, all right. So discover how Amentum supports nuclear programs with rigorous safety, special management, security, decommissioning. Our globally integrated teams bring local insight and disciplined execution throughout the entire life cycle. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Markets, energy and environment, space. What do they do in space? They offer comprehensive aerospace capabilities, including design, construction, integration, program support, launch. We support national government, military defense, NASA. Wow. Okay, they're a NASA contractor. I wonder how the government shutdown is going to impact them. Okay, they're supporting the Artemis program. Well, since they support NASA, I hate this company. Where are they doing it? Oh, they're at Kennedy in Florida. I was at Langley. They do have Langley. Yeah, this is where I used to work. They provide research facility operations. Okay, so they provide freaking contractors to NASA. Okay. Defense. What do they do for the Army? Army. They train pilots. 90% of the U.S. chemical weapons stockpile, they do all sorts of stuff. They're all over the freaking place. I mean, they are diversified at least. Wow. Interesting stuff. Okay. Let's see. Army field maintenance. Hey, if there's ever a war, this company might do pretty well. What do they do for the Air Force? Okay, they train pilots. Obviously, they do that for the Army too. Yes, the Army has aircraft. What do they do for the Marines? Let me guess. Different submarine classes. So they do training for pilots. They do submarines. They maintain aircrafts. Wow. They're all over the freaking place. What do they do for spec ops? Trained representatives from all special ops, 650 classes, including advanced skills. They're specialized. Okay, so it's basically a bunch. The people that work for this company are veterans that don't want to go in the real world, so they work for companies like this. Yeah. Wow. I mean, they're pretty diversified. What do they do for Homeland Security? Rotary maintenance, pilot training, intelligence. Well, it's an interesting company. Commercial. Are we diversified commercially? Facility maintenance, management. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's look at some of the financials. Let's see how this company's doing financially. All right. Revenue is absolutely exploding, so it looks like they're closing some contracts. That's interesting. And funny enough, it's sold off when Trump got elected, but they've been massively growing their contracts. So that's good. What are their margins like? Very low margins. I mean, they're probably spending most of that on personnel, I would imagine. Government contractors get paid a lot. Operating margin is pretty low, and profit margin is basically a joke. They're barely making any money. Free cash flow is kind of a joke as well. Let's see, free cash flow per share. Not really growing profits, even though they're growing revenues. Earnings per share. Yeah, I mean, the revenue growth is impressive, okay? But you got to ask yourself, can they continue to grow revenue and earnings? Can Trump shut them off in a second? Because Trump's unpredictable. Shit. Trump's unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to freaking do. Operating cash flow. I mean, they're posting positive operating cash flow. So, I mean, the revenue growth is very impressive. Let's look at their balance sheet. $738 million of cash, $2.4 billion in receivables. Short-term debts, $2.1 billion. Long-term debt, $4.4 billion of long-term debt. Okay, so I don't like their balance sheet. They have a lot of debt. Okay, so they have $4.4 billion of debt, and they basically did that, it looks like, for acquisitions. Okay. So that's a lot of debt. How much interest are they paying? So their operating income is barely paying for their interest. So only recently have they been able to receive more in operating income than their interest. The interest is eating up almost all of their profits. Okay, so you as a common shareholder, you're really getting nothing from this company because the debt holders are taking all the freaking money. Yeah, that's concerning right there. They're barely covering their interest with operating income. Okay, before that, they were actually paying more in interest than they were making in operating income. But I guess they're able to refinance some of their debt because the interest expense has dropped a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so they use a combination of debt and shares to make an acquisition. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, they are pretty diversified, and they've had some impressive revenue growth. So it's kind of an interesting company. Okay, you just have to ask yourself, how vulnerable are they to sudden changes in the Department of Defense? Because Trump's whole thing is axing the government. So a company like this could be utterly freaking annihilated if they axe the government. But so far, I mean, they seem to be executing pretty well. I mean, they've closed a lot of freaking contracts, and they're pretty diversified. Shockingly, I've never heard of this company, but they got contractors everywhere, and the government is spending more and more freaking money. Okay, so I mean, they could do well. They could do well. Interesting company here. Never heard of them before. Amentum Holdings. Some of these they always change their freaking names. Let's see. Amentum to create 3K jobs as UK. Okay, so they're getting contracts in the UK. Amentum Jacobs Technology selected for $4 billion Space Force range contract. Wow. Okay, they seem to be doing pretty well. I mean, it's possible they could do well. It's interesting. New DoD drone strategy. They're getting into drones. That's interesting. I think drones are the future, bro. After the war in Ukraine. So, not necessarily against the stock. I mean, the stock sucked recently, but if they keep executing, it could do well. So, interesting one there. Very interesting. All right, what do we have next? So we have AMTM. TMF gonna moon the next. Do you want me to cover TMF? I mean, since you did a super chat, I guess we can go look at TMF. Let me crap on TMF a little bit. All right, TMF ETF. Oh, look, Direction Daily 20+ year Treasury Bull 3X shares. Okay. Why would you buy this ETF? if it's what I'm thinking it is, and we'll look at the details in a second, if you think yields are going to come down massively and quickly, and long-term bonds are going to re-rate very fast, and you want to trade this, not hold this, you would buy this. If you were less of a degenerate, you know what you would do? You would buy TLT. TLT is the non-leveraged 20-year Treasury bond ETF. So if inflation starts to come back, Treasury yields could potentially go up. And if yields go up, bond prices go down. And if you're 3x freaking leveraged, you could get utterly clapped into the fifth dimension. So if you want to play rates, maybe just buy TLT. But I want a 3x, bro. Yeah, but every time this goes down, you get hit 3x. TMF. Bro. I mean, look how volatile this. Look how much this thing got absolutely annihilated. So Treasury yields went up massively because the Fed raised rates, and this thing utterly collapsed. This thing was trading in, I mean, I'm sure they did a reverse split, but we'll just say 397 on October 2nd, 2020, and then it's utterly collapsed. So this would be a Treasury yield play. Let's go see what the website says. If you want to play long-term bonds, just buy TLT. If you want to play it, you won't get annihilated. You can get hurt pretty bad because they're very volatile, but you're not going to get annihilated. All right, so they seek daily investment results before fees of 300% of the inverse of the performance of the ICE U.S. Treasury 20-year bond index. This thing is going to be insanely volatile. What's the expense ratio? How much do they charge for this clownish ETF? Where is it? Let's do the fact sheet. Fact sheet, bro. Net expense ratio, 0.91%. You know what TLT is? Expense rate. I think it's got to be low. It's got to be super low. 0.15%. And there's probably Vanguard long-term treasuries. Vanguard long-term treasury ETF. VGLT. 0.03%. Okay. If I wanted to play rates, and I thought rates were coming down, if I was looking at the 10-year and the 30-year, I'm like, oh, I think it's going to come down because I'm a genius. I would rather buy this, personally, not financial advice. So, yes, this thing is totally clownish. Okay, Stink Blow pumped this. Can you make money off of this? Yes, you can. Should you gamble on fluctuations in interest rates? No, because you don't know where they're going to go. I mean, it's super volatile. Let's see how volatile the 10-year Treasury yield was. 10-year Treasury yield. Treasury yield. Even in the past year, it was almost flirting with 5% from what I remember. All right, so the 10-year Treasury is currently yielding at 4.15%. I mean, look at that. Look at that volatility over the past year. It went all the way up to 4.77. So if you had been holding this, you would have got wrecked even more. And then it plunged and went all the way down to 4.15. And then a new inflation report could come out and inflation could be higher than expected and freaking yields could shoot up and TMF could collapse. Okay. It's a gambling ETF. I don't think retail investors should be playing with that. If you want to play long-term treasuries, maybe VGLT. Let's go look at it. VGLT ETF. Wow. Look at that movement, bro. Year to date, it's up 2.62% max. See, you can make money like when if rates come down. I mean, look, October 12th, 2018, all the way to the pandemic go. This actually freaking stays where it's supposed to. It went from the 69 all the way up to 102. I mean, that's a pretty good return if you think rates are going to change. But, you look at this, you're like, oh, it's cheap because it dipped. Well, rates could stay higher for longer. You don't know. So it's not guaranteed that it's going to rocket back up. It could, but it's not guaranteed. So that's why I don't like long-term bonds. They're too volatile. I mean, if you're going to you might as well buy stocks, to be perfectly honest. You might as well buy stocks. If you want liquidity, buy a short-term treasury ETF. So TMF is clownish. IHG, if that's what I think it is, I've stayed there. All right, IHG. Let's see. IHG. Let's go to stock analysis. IHG. All right, are we sharing? Yes, we are. Okay. Intercontinental Hotels Group PLC, ticker symbol IHG. It's down 1.23% today. It's got an $18 billion market cap, revenue of $5.12 billion, and net income of $750 million. I've stayed at IHG Hotels before. They have them on military bases. Let's see, forward PE of 20, trailing PE of 25. All right, so for the year, it's up 7.15%. 5 years is up 130%. And then Max, it's been absolutely cooking. It's done pretty well. They got a nice little dividend. What do? They manage, franchise, and lease hotels in the UK, the United States, and internationally. Oh, Airbnb's going to kill them, bro. False. Airbnb's a joke. I'm actually getting tired of freaking Airbnbs, to be perfectly honest. I'd rather stay at a hotel. It operates hotels under the Six Senses, Regent, Intercontinental Hotels, Vignette Collection, Kimpton Hotels, blah, blah, blah. So they have a bunch of freaking hotels. Holiday Inn Express, that's one of my favorite hotels. Okay, let's see how they've done. All right, so revenue growth has been pretty good. Let's see. Operating margin has been growing over time. Pretty solid. I would think a hotel would have lower operating margins, but I'm wrong. Very solid margins. Very solid margin. Free cash flow has been trending down, though. That's interesting. Let's see. Earnings per share is absolutely exploding. They're cooking the earnings per share. That's good. They're buying back shares. It's a solid company. I mean, this is just a play on the travel industry. You think travel's going to continue to grow and they're going to gain more market share? So operating income has been trending up. That's good. Our operating cash flow, excuse me. Then why has their free cash flow been dropping? Sale purchase of intangibles. What the heck did they just buy? Let's see. Okay, they're paying off debt. They're buying back stock. They're paying a dividend. It's a solid company. Let's go look at their valuations. All right. This is completely useless to me. All right. Price to sales, decently low, at least compared to historical valuations. But I guess if you compare that to 2020, you can't really compare that. Price to free cash flow, nothing crazy. Price to operating cash flow, nothing crazy. Let's go back and look at their revenue growth. Yeah, they've been doing pretty solid. They've been doing pretty freaking solid. Okay. They had a nice little recovery from the pandemic. Did they pack on a ton of debt? Long-term debt. I mean, they've packed on some debt, but pretty normal when you're buying when you're investing in hotels. Long-term unearned revenue is going up at a pretty healthy clip. Retained earnings, negative $224 million. That's probably from share buybacks. Other comprehensive income is negative. I wonder if that's like foreign currency translations. That's interesting. Let's go look at the website. Let's go check the news, bro. I mean, pretty solid company. I really have nothing bad to say about it. What's in the news? What are we missing here? Okay, they launched Masarona by IHG to cultivate Saudi Arabia's next generation of hospitality leaders. They strengthened presence in the UK. They're expanding in Germany. Oh, wow, an alarm clock, bullish to grow luxury and lifestyle portfolio in Egypt. Man, they're growing everywhere. Japan. Yeah, they're globally diversified. They're buying back shares. They're paying a dividend. They're growing revenue. Valuation doesn't seem too freaking crazy. It seems like a solid company. Thailand, yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it. Am I going to buy it? Probably not, but let's see. Yeah, look at all their brands. Let's see which ones I've stayed at before. Holiday Inn. That's basically it. IHG. That's on military bases. Yeah, pretty solid. Got nothing bad to say about it. I didn't see any major red flags there. All right. No, God. BBBY. Is that Blackberry? What is that? All right, I guess we'll go check out BBBY. What is this? All right, BBBY. Bed Bath and Beyond. Yeah, it wasn't Blackberry. I thought they went bankrupt. They're back. Who goes to this store? This is the most clownish store in the world. All they do is send out stupid coupons. Oh, you're gonna. It's like a psychological trick. Everything's on discount always, and they just send all these freaking coupons out. It's so stupid. What? Just stop with the coupons, okay? Only low IQ people will fall for that. And maybe it works. I don't know. I thought we'd put this company to rest. So it's got a market cap of $526 million off of trailing revenue of $1.13 billion and net income of negative $201 million. Earnings per share of negative 3.92 and no forward PE. So they're not even projecting this company to be freaking profitable. They operate as an e-commerce affinity marketing company. What are they doing? They offer an e-commerce affinity marketing company. What the heck? Is this an MLM now? What is this? Oh, here's the stupid coupons. Do they even have physical stores anymore? Oh, God, look, it's 70% off. Oh, my God, I'm getting a deal. Built in the USA. Oh, are they all digital now? Where's the news? Where's the investor relations? God, this is such a pain in the ass. All right, hold on a second. Is Bed Bath and Beyond only digital now? No, Bed Bath Beyond is not exclusively digital. Following the launch of its first they're doing physical stores. After filing for bankruptcy in 2023 and closing all its stores, the brand's digital assets were purchased by Overstock, which launched it as an online-only retailer. Oh, I wonder who they're competing with. Amazon? I'm sure they'll do well. In a strategic partnership, and Walmart. Every company is online. Who's going to go online to Bed Bath & Beyond? That's the last place I would go to shop. I could go on Amazon, Walmart, every other freaking company that's online. No, I'm going to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. It's now returning to brick and mortar retail through these new, smaller format stores. The online business was integrated into the Overstock platform. Oh, so it's basically Overstock with Bed Bath & Beyond cover slapped on it. The partnership with Kirkland's marks a return to physical retail. No, why are we going back to physical retail? Nobody wants to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond new store format. New smaller format store called the Bed Bath & Beyond Home. Let's see if we can pull up a picture of it. So stupid. I hated going in this store. Do we even have a picture? Wow, we're just going to slap home on the bottom. It's different, bro. Bed Bath & Beyond is making its brick and mortar return with a new format. It'll celebrate the grand opening of its first Bed Bath & Beyond home location on August 8th in Nashville. The store opening is the first for the company under its new name, the Brand House Collective. Let's see. To celebrate the grand opening, the company's bringing back one of the company's most iconic traditions, tricking morons with the coupon. They will provide customers with new coupons at the door. It's so stupid. They just raise the price 20% and they give you a 20% off coupon. Oh, I'm saving money. Duh! Wow. Oh. All right. Let's see how this stupid stock. This is gonna be a meme rip. Watch. This is gonna be a freaking meme. I could totally see it. I could totally see this thing rip. Oh, bro, it's back, bro. Bro, buy it. Look, this thing is a turd, okay? If you want to buy, this is literally a meme trade. That's all this is. If you think a bunch of morons are going to buy this company, go ahead. I don't think Bed Bath & Beyond is so back, bro. It's online retail, which has insane competition from much more established companies. And the stores themselves are freaking stupid. You're only going to make money from a freaking meme rally, which in this clown market is highly possible. Bed Bath & Beyond. It's hilarious. All right. What's next? All right, we got a couple more here. IHG, Bed Bath. Is this Cincy? Cincy. All right, let's check out Cincy.
Cincy, I'm a girl. It smells so good. Oh my God. I'm a girl.
All right, here we go. Cincy. Oh, totally freaking wrong. Totally wrong on that one. I apologize. Sun Country Airline Holdings. Is this a budget airline? What is this? All right. So, a market cap of $629 million, trailing revenue of $1.1 billion, and net income of $58 million. Wow. There's profits. They got a PE of 11 and a forward PE of 8. I don't think the market's pricing in a lot of growth there. What do they do? Sun Country Airline Holdings, an air carrier company, operates scheduled passenger air cargo, charter and air transportation, and related services in America, Latin America, and internationally. It operates through two segments, passenger and cargo, provides the crew, the maintenance and insurance, and loyalty programs. It has a fleet of 63 Boeing 737s. Never heard of this in my freaking life. Let's go look at the website. Let me close this Bed Bath & Beyond garbage. All right. Sun Country. Where do they operate out of? Where you leave? Okay, let's see if I can fly from Norfolk. They don't fly from Norfolk. Do they fly from DC? Okay, they fly from DC. Do they fly from Newport News? No, of course not. Richmond? They fly from Richmond. That's why I've never seen them. They don't fly from. I only fly from Norfolk or Newport News. Interesting. So, what do they do? Non-stops to Punta Cana, Belize, Aruba. Cancun, Vegas, Palm Springs, Orlando, Chicago. Okay, so they're basically like major airports. All right. Let's see. Let's go look at the earnings. Well, let's go see what the stock's done. So year to date, it's down 19%. On the year, it's up 4%. 5 years, it's down over 50%. And then the max, yeah, it's basically just sold off. Let's see. Yeah, this is probably a budget airline, I would imagine. It's a freaking race to the bottom. So we see here that revenue has grown a lot since 2020. I wonder why. So revenue has grown. I mean, it's recovered from the pandemic, but it's basically flatlined. So revenue is now growing at the rate of inflation. Let's see. All right, decent gross margin at almost 30%. They've shockingly maintained a positive operating margin. That's impressive. Let's go look at like American Airlines. American Airlines. AAL. That's what it was. Okay, they've stayed profitable too. All right, Cincy. All right. So they maintain profitability, shockingly. And free cash flows all over the place, whatever. All right, so, decent margins, nothing really to get mad about. Let's look at their balance sheet. $138 million of cash and cash equivalents. Total liquid assets of $222 million off of short-term debts of $354 million, but $111 million of that is unearned revenue, which is cash received up front, basically tickets booked in advance. Okay. They got some debt coming due, but nothing crazy. They can always refinance it if they need to. Long-term debt. Wow, look at this. They've been paying off some debt. That's pretty good. Look at that debt going down, okay? They must have packed on a bunch of debt during the scamdemic, and then they've started to pay it off, okay? That's a good thing. Let's see how much interest expense has gone down. So they've paid off debt, but interest expense has gone up, but that's obviously because rates have gone up. So as rates come down, hopefully they'll be able to refinance at lower rates. Operating income, they got plenty of operating income. I mean, the debt will, the interest expense will come down, hopefully, if rates come down, because the interest is consuming a decent amount of the operating income. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Q1 is where they seem to be making most of their money. Do people travel a lot in Q1? I don't know. Is that a thing? Are they buying back shares? Diluted earnings per share. Diluted shares have gone down a little bit. So a little bit of token buybacks. Earnings per share has kind of stayed flat. Let's see. I mean, it seems like a solid little airliner. I mean, I don't know how much profit growth you're going to get. It's a very competitive, capital-intensive industry. Let's look at the statement of cash flows. So operating cash flow is trending up. Let's see. Capital expenditures have come down. Yeah, it looks like they bought a lot of planes or whatever in 2023. But there's going to be another cycle, of course, where they have to buy new freaking planes, but not recently. Okay, it doesn't seem that bad. I mean, they're growing revenue. It's a little slow. They've maintained profitability. They're paying off debt. I mean, it's a solid little airliner. I've never heard of it, but nothing awful to say about it. Now, would I invest in this? No. If I wanted to play the airline industry, what's that freaking ETF? Is it Jets? I would play Jets. You know, like, I don't know why you'd buy an individual freaking airliner. This thing is outperformed the other one because you're much more diversified. So if I wanted to play airlines and travel, I'd probably go with an ETF. I don't see the point of buying a freaking individual airline stock, especially one that's so tiny like this. So, I mean, but they're solid. Nothing like no major freaking issues there. All right. Ulta. All right. Let's dive into Ulta here. Ulta, my Ulta. Did Jeremy buy this? I bet he knows all about beauty products. Freaking rectum taker. So Ulta's up 140. Let's make sure we're sharing the screen. Yep. Ulta's up 145% over the past 5 years. What does Ulta do?
I love Ulta. It's my favorite store. I'm a girl.
Operates as a specialty beauty retailer in the U.S. and Mexico. They offer branded and private label beauty products, including cosmetics, fragrance. I have no understanding of the beauty market. You got to ask a girl. Where's their website? Let's go look at their website. Maybe I'll buy some products live.
Ulta. Oh, my God. Look, I want to be appreciated for more than my beauty, but all I do is invest money into my looks.
Why won't men like me for my personality? Ah! All right. I wonder what Jeremy buys. Let's see. Let's go shopping. Free 10-piece gift with $21.50 Ulta Beauty Collection purchase. Okay. What is this? Face wash, almost $12 to $16. You can get it at Walmart for a quarter of that price, probably. What a freaking grift. But I'm a girl. Fragrance gift. Why don't you take a shower? Skin perfecting talc-free matte powder, $42. women. Fragrance, 136. Get out of here. See how much their stupid makeup costs. Well, let's get some lipstick. Let's go look. Oh my God. I want lipstick. Let's go. What the hell's wrong with this website? All right.
How much for lipstick?
Come on. Well, I thought about buying lipstick, but the freaking website's too slow. $25, $25. I mean, that doesn't seem crazy to me, but it's just all not. How much do you women spend on this freaking nonsense? You know what makes you look good? Going to the gym. If you were fit and petite, you would be attractive. You wouldn't even have to wear makeup. But you're a bunch of slobby pigs, and you think putting on some face clown masks is going to make you look better. False. Go to the freaking gym. Anyway, all right, so that's Ulta. Okay, so the stock's done pretty good. It's rallied 25%, so it's outperformed the market this year. It's just done extremely well. Past year, it's up 35%, outperforming the market. Let's see. What's going on with their revenue? So pretty solid. I mean, you can see that their revenue growth year over year is starting to slow down. Okay, that could be a little concerning. They have started to recover a little bit. So most recently, they grew year over year revenue at 9.26%. But for a while, they actually had negative year over year revenue growth. So they were having a tough patch back in 2025. The stock sell off. Yep, they had a little bit of sell off, but now it's recovered. So they posted some good earnings recently. Let's look at margins. Margin's basically the same, so there's not really any erosion there. Gross margin has stayed the same. Operating margin looks like it's contracting a little bit. Profit margin contracting a little bit. Free cash flow margin all over the freaking place. Let's look at it from an annual perspective. Annually, let's see. Yep, so you can see margins are dropping ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Yep, operating margin. So they're definitely having a little bit of expansion in operating expenses there. Free cash flow margin, that's contracting as well. Let's see. Earnings per share growth is almost negligible. Earnings per share is basically flatlined. So they're going to have to grow. They're going to have to drive earnings growth basically through share buybacks, which they're doing, and revenue growth. Ugh. Yeah, they're definitely slowing down on revenue growth. I don't know. Interesting. Operating cash flow contracting. Capital expenditures pretty significant. What did they acquire? What company did Ulta acquire? Solta. They recently acquired Space NK, a British beauty retailer, expand into the UK. Oh, they're growing internationally. Okay. All right, so basically you see revenue growth slowing down. You see margins starting to contract a little bit. You see operating cash flow starting to contract a little bit. Now they're driving growth mostly through acquisitions. They are doing share buybacks. They have a dividend. Do they have a dividend? Oh, that's good. They don't have a dividend. Okay. I mean, it's a solid business. I mean, I would be concerned about revenue growth. I mean, maybe their international investment is the future. I don't know. Let's go look. Maybe their most recent earnings can break it out. I mean, they just did the acquisition, so maybe they don't. Where's investor relations?
What's that? I don't care about investing. I just want to buy my makeup. I have cheeks.
Okay, they're growing into Mexico. Second quarter results. Let's see. 6.7% comparable sales growth. That's pretty good. Sales are growing primarily due to increased comparable sales. So they're growing organically in their current stores. Let's see. Where's the international versus US? All right, what's their fiscal 2025 outlook? Comparable sales between 2.5 to 3.5%, so barely beating inflation. New stores 63, remodeling 43 to 48. They guided for slightly higher margins, higher earnings per share. They're buying back about 900 million of shares. They've cut their interest expense, so they've been paying off debt or at least refinancing it. And yeah. Okay. Wonder if they have international. They don't really break it out. I mean, the company could do well. I mean, the revenue growth slowdown is concerning, but it is positive that their comparable sales growth is up 6.7%. So that's good. So interesting company. All right, what's next? The PP ETF. All right. We're going to do two more. We got two in the queue. I mean, if somebody super chats me again, we'll do that one. But all right, let's do PP. My PP. My PP. I've never heard of this PP ETF. Who could have possibly had this PP ETF? The Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF. Wow. Hello? Oh, it's not listed anymore. Hold on. Let's go to the SEC. See if we can find it. SEC filings. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Okay, I'm sharing. Actually, let's do it in incognito so you stalkers don't stalk me. Okay, SEC filings. Search filings. Yeah, I mean, he deleted the website, so you have to look at it here. Meet Kevin Trust. What about pricing power? Damn it. Let's try SEC Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF. It was a U.S. listed, actively managed ETF that invested in innovative companies. And this mother effer, when was the PP ETF delisted? I want to see how much the market's gone up. So the last day of trading occurred on October 25th, 2025. Let's see how much the S&P 500 has gone up since then. Because this mother effer was betting against the market, okay? He bought like an inverse Bitcoin ETF. He had a bunch of treasuries. Total nonsense. So let's see how much the market's gone up since he went short the market, basically. So February 25th, the S&P 500 was 5,955. So since then, Meat Smoker would have underperformed the market by an additional 12.3%, not including dividends. Utterly disastrous call. And the funny thing is, right? This is the funniest thing. So basically what happened is he started to underperform the market catastrophically. He was doing awful. And then he says, I need to cover my tracks. Wow. Because everybody can see my public performance. And that makes me look bad because they can see that I suck. So he closes it down. And then right as he closes it down, the market actually did sell off because of the tariffs. So if he had kept the ETF going just a little bit longer, he could have claimed victory, right? He could have, held his treasuries. The market sold off. He actually probably would have done decently well. And then he could have bought the dip on the tariff dip, and then made a bunch of money. So, of course, he freaking delisted it at the worst possible time. The worst possible time. But I think he saw that Trump was coming into office, and he probably panicked. He'd be like, oh, my God, the market's going to rip. And then he just decided to close down the ETF. But he could have claimed victory. He could have. But he closed it too early. That's why you don't trade. But now he's got his stock alerts. All right, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, the only thing I can think, so he has the Meet Kevin Trust. So he filed these documents. I found these before. Basically, I think he claimed this is if he ever wants to do it again. Pricing power. The Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF seeks long-term capital appreciation. The Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF, the predecessor fund, and formerly a series of title trust too. Yeah, so the PP ETF is now succeeded by the Meet Kevin Trust, which is not trading on the market, obviously, because Meet Kevin blows. Let's see. Pricing, Meet Kevin, Pricing Power ETF, SEC. There might be like legacy documents. Yeah, here's the initial prospectus. So here was his strategy. Innovative companies with pricing power selection. That was his initial strategy, right? Oh, they have pricing power, Apple, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes from Apple and all these like pricing power companies. And then he starts buying inverse Bitcoin, gold, and treasuries. So he completely deviated from the initial purpose of the ETF, which was to invest in innovative pricing power companies. You know what he could have done is just bought and held companies that he thought would had good pricing power. Like if he had just bought Tesla, bought Apple, and a couple other companies, and he just held them, he would have done pretty well. But no, he's got to trade. He's got to constantly trade. Freaking clown, dude. Yeah, of course he just freaking deletes everything. Portfolio managers, Kevin Paffrath, Michael Venuto, and Charles Ragaus. What a freaking clown. Yeah, there's really not much left about it, to be honest. What a disaster. Yeah, that's a PP. He could have claimed victory, but he effed that up pretty bad. All right. Oh, we're getting more. Jesus, how long is this stream? I do have to leave at 9 o'clock. Okay, if I keep getting super chats, I'll note them down and I will do them in a future video. But we can cover these last few. Brandon Burkholder, $10. Bark. Bark, my sark. What is bark? All right, let's close this. Bark, a literal freaking penny stock. 83 cents. Market cap of 141 million off of trailing revenue of 470 million and net income of negative 29 million. I'm sold already. No forward PE, so they're not even projecting profits in the future. Bark Incorporated, a dog-centric company. I can't stand this anymore. Provides products, services, and content for dogs. Content for dogs? What? Go get married and have kids, people. The company operates in two segments, direct-to-consumer and commerce. It provides subscription product. Yeah, a subscription for your freaking dog. Including monthly themed boxes of toys. You don't need to get your dog new toys. It's like buying a kid new toys. You don't need to get your kids 1,000 freaking toys, and your freaking dog doesn't need 1,000 toys. And treats. Okay, I could see a treat subscription, but toys? That's weird. As well as kibble, treats, chews, toothpastes, sprinkles, broths, bites. This is our society's cooked, man. Let's go see the website. Bark. All right, how much do I have to pay for my freaking dog? Bark, co-owned by dogs. How much is a... I don't know why this is so slow. I apologize. I pay like $70 a month for this freaking nonsense. All right, how much is the BarkBox? Toys on subscription? What is wrong with you people? Oh. Get a pair of free Crocs for your dog? They have Crocs for dogs? Okay, we'll take the Crocs. Let's go look. God, this is so slow. Hello? I thought this was 2025. I thought the internet functioned in 2025. Are we going to have to just back out of this? I want to see how much this costs. We're not doing this. Let's go back. Let's just ask Google. How much does BarkBox charge for its various services? How much are you freaking dopes paying for your dogs? BarkBox offers different pricing for its monthly, 6-month, and 12-month subscription plans. 12-month subscription, $22 to $23 a month. Okay, not crazy, but still. 6-month subscription, $26. 1-month subscription, $35. Why would you get a 1-month subscription? That's not a subscription if it's 1 month. The light version is a half-size box for about $20. A dog is just a freaking animal, okay? This is not a human. Why are we getting subscriptions for freaking animals? The Super Chewer box. Yeah, I got something you can chew on. $25 to $30 a month. Standard shipping is not so you got to pay shipping too. God, what a freaking clown show. All right, let's go look at the company's profits. The non-existent profits. All right, so revenue is just imploding. It's just absolutely collapsing. Year-over-year revenue growth, 11.49%. It's barely, the last time they had like decent positive revenue growth was back in 2022. Probably because people had their freaking stimulus checks. Like, oh, what should I spend this money on? Should I pay off debt? No, I'm going to buy toys for my dog. Okay, they got pretty high gross margins, shockingly, but they're out of control with their operating expenses. Surprisingly high gross margins. You know what that means? They're buying these crappily made toys and food for your dogs. They're feeding your dog garbage, and they're making a fortune off of that at least, but then they blow a bunch of money in operating expenses. No profitability, no improvement whatsoever. I mean, a little bit. Only 1/4 of profitability. Are they even cash flow positive? They're not even cash flow positive. I mean, let's look at the annual. Even during the pandemic, they weren't printing positive operating cash flow. They had explosive revenue growth, and they barely had positive operating cash flow for 2 years. And now it's going down the tubes. Because, yeah, when inflation starts to bite, one of the first things you're going to cancel is your stupid dog subscription. And if the economy collapses, even worse. Well, they are doing share buybacks. I'll give them that. All right, let's go look at their balance sheet. $84 million in cash, $201 million of liquid assets, short-term debts, $130 million. They got $43 million of debt coming due in the next year. Let's look at the quarterly, excuse me. Let's see. So we're going to have to refinance some debt. It's coming due pretty soon. Unearned revenue was dropping, so people are buying this crap less and less and less. God, this company's never made freaking money. Cumulative losses of $386 million. This is a meme. This is a freaking meme. Why are they doing share buybacks? Why? Why? If you have negative operating cash flow, why are you doing share buybacks? Why? Stop. You pay a dividend too. Why not? How's the stock done? This is the meme stock, okay? This stock is in trouble. This company's in trouble. They're not doing well, okay? Could it rally because morons buy it? Yes. But even in their heyday, when they were growing revenue massively, they were burning cash hand over fist. They're not even projected to be profitable in the future. And if the economy takes a hit, people aren't going to buy this crap. Seriously? What percentage of Americans own dogs, and what is the change over time? I'm never getting a freaking dog. 45 to 51% of households own dogs. Dog ownership increased significantly during the pandemic. Okay, so I'm lonely. Okay, follow. So it peaked. Okay, dog ownership has peaked. Recent trends. While the long-term trend for dog ownership has generally increased, the most recent data shows a stabilization after the pandemic era growth. Comparison to cats, dogs continue to be the most popular type of pet. Man, half of households have a dog. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. This company's a freaking turd. Okay, it's a literal penny stock. It's basically almost priced for bankruptcy. How much cash have they been burning? Yep, cash is starting to dip. So negative operating cash flow, cash balance is starting to contract. They're not profitable. They're not projected to be profitable. They're going to have a hard time raising shares because they're a freaking penny stock. This company is highly risky. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Startbox. Interesting. Red flag if she lets hit raw on the first date. Well, that is high risk behavior. Okay. Just don't do that. Just don't do it. It's not good to do that. If you do that, if you contract something that never goes away, it only takes one time and it never goes away. Be very careful. Either that's an indication that she's very attracted to you, or she's desperate to have a child, or she has a lack of impulse control. Okay. I would not do that. That is bad. I would wait a little bit. Okay. I know it makes PP feel good, but it's not a good idea. One time, you get a permanent disease, never goes away. All right, let's do Sony My Brony. Sony My Brony. Sony My Brony. How's old Sony doing? Sony Group. Market cap of 172 billion. That's bigger than I thought. Revenue of 90 billion. Net income of 7.95 billion. Forward PE of 25 and PE of 21. No dividend. Oh my God, that's so awful. How's the stock done? Up 4.6% in the past month. Up 36% in the past year. Up 49%. Or sorry, year to date, it's up 36%. Over the past year, it's up almost 50%. Man, Sony's cooking. Look at that. Absolutely cooking. All right, let's go see what they do. What does Sony do? I've never heard of this company before. What are they into here? PlayStation. What is PlayStation's market share? What is PlayStation's market share versus Xbox? PlayStation 5 accounts for 71% of current generation console market. Man, they're cooking Xbox. I was never into play. I was more of a Nintendo guy, personally. Yeah, they're definitely dominant. I didn't think they were that dominant. They're 91% market share in Japan. In Europe, they have 73% market share. PS5 is outperforming the PS4 sales by 7%. Did they raise the price of the PS5? Did the price of PS5 go up recently? Okay, this was announced August 20th, 2025, and people will continue to buy it too. We've made the difficult decision to increase the recommended retail price for PS5 consoles in the US starting August 21st. The updated price is $549. Good Lord. Man, these things cost a fortune. You might as well just buy a freaking PC. Okay. Yeah, so they raised prices. Yep, $100 more. What percentage of Sony's revenue is PlayStation? It accounts for 1/3 of Sony's total revenue. What percentage of Sony profit is PlayStation? PlayStation is a significant contributor, accounting for 29. Okay, so they to 36% of operating income. Yeah, I mean, if they're raising it by $100, I think people will continue to buy it personally. That is kind of a bullish thing right there. All right, so what are the major drivers of Sony's revenue? Game and network services, music, picture segment with films and TVs. Yeah, I mean, TV prices have dropped over time. That's probably not a big growth engine, I would imagine. I mean, that price hike seems pretty bullish, bruh. Yeah, they got the PS5. All right, let's go look at the financials. So the stock's been cooking recently. Quarterly. All right, this is in Japanese yen. Don't get excited here. So, I mean, revenue's been kind of stagnant. I mean, they're growing revenue, but it's not crazy. It's freaking all over the place. Gross profit has been increasing, though. So revenue hasn't been growing as fast as gross profit. Operating income has been growing decently. Let's look at it from an annual perspective. So revenue growth's kind of slowed down, but maybe that could change with the PS5 hikes. Gross profit has been going, so their margins are going up. Their revenue's kind of flatlining, but margins have been going up. Operating income has been cooking. Interest, man, they're packing on some debt. Look at this. Woo! What's going on here? But they've also had investment income to compensate for that. Earnings from equity investments. So apparently some of the companies they've invested in have been losing money. What's going on there? Where's their earnings per share? Earnings per share. Okay, so they've been able to drive earnings. And with that increase, I could see them continuing to do that. Gross margin has been stable. Operating margin has been stable. Free cash flow margin absolutely printing. Look at that. They're doing pretty well. Yeah, it's a little pricey from a PE perspective, but I mean, compared to the past, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not a buy. Price to operating cash flow. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, not a bad company. There's some bullish indicators there. Interesting. Okay. Can you make money off this? I'm sure you can. Am I going to buy this? Probably not, but they seem to be doing pretty well. All right, so that's Sony. Sony, my brony. All right, well, I think that's it. Do we have any interesting member-only comments? I appreciate everybody and all their kind donations. We will continue this for a long time. People want their PS5. They just signed a deal with Spotify. They also own Crunchyroll for anime fans. I don't know anything about anime. Sony pays peanuts to IMAX to have their anime play. Oh, clever. Crunchyroll equals Sony. Let's see. Here is your monthly box of talk. I will never understand that, dude. It's so freaking weird to me. Oh, man. Any other interesting comments? My new dress comes in the mail. Oh, congratulations. I'm glad you're pursuing your true self. Did you react to Pete Hegseth's speech about beardos and fat people? It was like a 40-minute speech. I listened to maybe 10 minutes of it, but I just don't care about that enough. I'm in the reserves. Okay. They made the PT test a little bit harder to pass. Wow. Scary. But I just don't care. Let's see. No dividend, immediate trash. That's true. It's got to have a dividend or it's worthless. Call me when you think, hey, if you guys want me to react to Pete Hegseth, you got to pay me for that. You got to pay me. If you want me to react to that whole freaking speech, $100. $100 to react to that whole freaking speech. There's no way in heck I'm watching that for free. Army Hua! And it's funny because Pete Hegseth is a major in the reserves, and he's speaking to all these generals. It's kind of like me speaking to a bunch of generals. Wouldn't that be funny? All right, I'm the Secretary of War. I used to be a captain. Yeah. Listen up, generals. Kind of weird. All right. Well, I think that's it for the night. I appreciate it. If a last minute super chat comes in, whatever, I'll get it in another video. Pay up. That's right. Join the membership. You want me to answer your comments? You got to join the membership. I appreciate all the super chats. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, be jealous, everybody. Be jealous. Anyway, like, subscribe, consider joining as a member to support the channel. Consider booking a free 30-minute tax consultation with me. I am a certified public accountant. I will gladly do your business and or personal taxes any state in the United States. You can talk to me for free. I will give you an upfront quote for your tax preparation. And you guys have a delicious night. Cheers.